The Institute of Energy Security, IES, has called for the immediate removal of the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Pokuprempe, citing the worsening energy crisis as grounds for his removal. We are joined by Zache Derek Emmanuel from the Institute of Energy Security for more on this. Emmanuel, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity.
And thank you for joining us as well. So we are actually currently faced with trading of different reasons why we are in the situation that we're in. For example, today on Good Morning Ghana, we had two persons, one from the opposition and one from government. One says that the one from government says it is not a money or revenue problem. The one in opposition says, yes, it is a financial problem. The people are the ones that are suffering the brunt. You have heard the energy minister you're calling for his head says we should set up our own timetable. How else do you think we can actually get ourselves out of the current situation?
All right, thanks for the opportunity. The truth is only one and it hurts. But whatever somebody wants to do with it is their own cup of tea. The truth of the matter is that the issues with the energy sector or the power sector itself got to do with finances. There's no other explanation that can be given aside financial issues, because if you have money that ECG is supposed to collect and that can ensure full cost recovery for all those in the supply chain, then definitely they'll be up to work. But if you don't have the money to give to them, what would they use to for the cost of, for the supply of fuel, or let me say the light crude or whatever thing that will be used for it? There's no money for it. And it's even collaborated with the cash waterfall mechanisms report that the PURC brought out. It shows that ECG was not able to fulfill the cash waterfall mechanisms, what is expected of them. Now, which business will be able to survive without what is being allocated to them as given to them? And so if I'm expected 500 million Ghana cedis and you don't give it to me, you give me 120 million, the excess of the 380 million Ghana cedis that is left, where do you expect me to get the money from? I'll not be able to fulfill it. Now, on the part of ECG, they are running a distribution loss of almost 30.6%. And so which business will be able to survive if you have a distribution loss of almost 30.6%? Assuming you are giving 100 megawatts of power to sell, and then this is the amount of money that is expected as returns for full cost recovery, and 30% is gone waste. Where do you expect the people to get money from for that excess? That excess, according to ECG, is supposed to come from government. And then the PURC report also stated that government has not been able to honor an amount of almost 200 million Ghana cedis that it was supposed to give to them. And so where do you expect these organizations, or let me say the independent power generators, to get the money from to be able to power the thermal plant? The truth of the matter is that we have enough capacity to be able to generate the power. But what we will use to generate the power is the problem. And if you give it to them today, tomorrow, they'll be able to bring the power plants on board. And we will have enough power to meet our peak demand.
So what do we do? In fact, as a people, what do we do? In the previous administration, I think we had a timetable, so the people were working with the timetable. However, people still went onto the street to demonstrate. In the current situation, we do not have the timetable, and yet we see the trading of accusations. I hear you talk about the cash waterfall mechanism. The Minister for Finance is saying that we're going to investigate all that. Must the people wait?
It's the worst form of corporate governance, because if one of the principles of corporate governance is that you must be transparent and accountable to the people. Now, consumers, what we are interested in is to have a better delivery of service. And so when we are not getting that service, which is the supply of power, and we are having done so, definitely we will have to raise concerns for it. But when we raise the concerns, who is attending to our concerns? Somebody needs to explain to us and be truthful and transparent with us. But here lies the situation where probably the energy minister, the ECG, that is supposed to be transparent to Ghanaians, is telling Ghanaians that there's no need for doing so because there's no power outages. They attribute it to transformers. PURC report cited that it was only 3% of transformers that are able that are causing that, and even when it came to overload of transformers, it is very insignificant as a cost to the current power outages. So what we know definitely is a generational deficit. But when Gridco gives those reports to ECG, ECG is not able to give us a planned timetable, and that is what ECG, that is what PURC has now cited ECG for, and then charged them. And so what is expected from ECG, basically, even if you don't want to be transparent with Ghanaians, is that give them a better timetable. Give them a timetable that will be able to help them plan their lives and activities, because the cost of production continues to go high. The alternative to electricity is for people to have their own power plants, and you know the cost of fuel now so high. And so their cost of production will increase. And even if one increases, they are not even able to plan or recoup it, because the consumer, assuming you operate a salon and then your customers come and then all of a sudden the power goes off, definitely that will be a form of inconvenience to some form of consumers. And the next day they will not even return to you. You will lose customers. Those who will get that customers will even have to do it at an increased cost of production. And so basically what we are all asking for is that give us a timetable and address whatever thing that needs to be done, whatever negotiation, whatever money that needs to be looked for, address those ones behind door, but give Ghanaians a timetable so that they'll be able to plan their lives and livelihood. And that is the best that you can give to anybody assistance now.
So what, with you at the Energy Security, Institute of Energy Security, what else are you going to do to push for this, agenda that you're setting to remove the energy minister?
So as a leader, what is expected of you is to solve problems. And so if you are the energy minister, you came into office at a time when probably power supply was a bit stable as is compared to now, and the issues that got to be the energy sector is not what we are experiencing now. That means as a leader you failed of your responsibilities, because you should be bold, you should be innovative, you should be proactive, and you should be transparent with Ghanaians. And if you, the leader who is supposed to crack the ship, have an oversight responsibilities of ECG and others to be able to even give Ghanaians timetable, is now telling Ghanaians that there's no need for a timetable, then I don't know the kind of briefing that probably he's been having. And then when that happens, it means that you are not, your key performances or the measures that's supposed to keep you at post have not been met. And I don't know which manager will continue to be at post when the person's key performance indicators have not been met. And so as the energy minister, whatever thing that it is, he is not the only person who is having the skills and the technical know-how to be able to solve the issues with the energy sector. He can be relieved of his position. Other people can come and take over. When they also don't meet the key performance indicators, then you can question them. But it is high time we hold people accountable to their responsibilities. And so we continue to expose them, not to expose them, but to tell the truth that Ghanaians, the issues with the power sector is not any other thing, but it goes to be financial issues. As and when you're able to solve the financial issues, Ghanaians will continue to have a stable power supply. Right. And I think that's the best way to go.
That's Derek Emmanuel, Research and Policy Analyst with the Institute of Energy Security.